Alright guys, Darren from FBA Elite and welcome back to another video. So in this week's video, we're just going to be going through some product research. I'm going to do some live product research. I have no idea what we're going to find. I've done tutorials in the past showing you guys lots of different methods you can use. But this week's video, I'm just going to do some live product research and give you guys a good idea of how I do it myself. There's no secret science behind this. There's no special method you can use. There's lots of different methods you can use to find products. I'm just going to use a couple of them today. The pieces of software that I'm going to use are Xray from Helium 10 and also Jungle Scout. And now predominantly I do use Helium 10 for all of my stuff, but I purchased the Jungle Scout Chrome extension before it became a monthly payment. So a couple of years ago, they used to sell that as a one-off cost. So I bought that very early on in my FBA journey. So I'm quite lucky that I can use both Helium 10 and Jungle Scout together when I'm doing my product research to make sure that the estimated sales we're seeing are kind of verified by both pieces of software, and then of course doing the manual tracking afterwards as well to verify it that way as well. So let's just jump onto Amazon. Going to go to the search bar. I honestly have no idea where we're going to go. What I would say is for this video, just think about something that you have an interest in or knowledge of, just to give you an advantage if you've got a hobby, or maybe if you've got pets, or maybe if you're a parent and you know a lot of stuff about what kids need or what babies need. Maybe you're a musician. Have a think about what you know stuff about. If you know about a particular area, then when you come to look at products, you'll spot opportunities that you wouldn't spot if you were just looking at a brand new niche that you knew absolutely nothing about. So for this example, I'm going to go with baby stuff purely because I've been a dad now for just over a year. So if I was looking at this niche over a year ago, honestly, I wouldn't really know what I was looking for. Whereas now, hopefully, maybe have a small inkling of what I am looking for. So one of the methods you can use is the category auto suggest. So you type in baby and see what pops up, and go through some of these. Let's try one. So a baby bath seat. Let's see what's on there. This is just a very, very simple way of getting product ideas. So we'll go on to the baby bath seat. The first thing I'll do is let these finish loading. You can disable these bits within the extensions if you want. You can let those finish loading. If not, just either hit your Helium 10 Xray button or Jungle Scout. So I'm going to be using Helium 10 throughout this, and then when I find a good product, I'll verify it with Jungle Scout as well. So let's pop up Helium 10's Xray. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this just column by column to show you how my mind works when I'm looking at the search results. So as this is loading up, I'll just talk you through. So bits on the left, I don't pay too much attention, or actually I don't care at all about the ASIN. So we ignore the ASIN completely. Brand, I'll have a quick glance at to see if this is brand dominated. So you can see straight away here, Angel Care are dominating a number of these top positions. So that could be difficult to dislodge. And it may just be that they're a very good FBA seller, or it may be that their brand does have strength. So Angel Care may be a well-known brand within the parenting world, and that is why it is towards the top. So brand is one thing to be aware of. Titles, again, I don't pay a huge amount of attention to. I do like to ensure that the products are all comparable. So sometimes you might search for a particular keyword and you'll see products that aren't related. So before I load this extension, it's always a good idea to just have a quick scroll through and make sure actually we are seeing baby baths, and not just variations of maybe other random baths or random baby related products. So it's always worth casting a quick eye over that. So let me just bring that back up. It should come up quickly as we've just been using it. Next up is category. They're all in the baby products. So again, don't really pay a huge amount of attention to this. Then we have buy box. Now you see a lot of these are Amazon. So this niche at the moment is dominated by Amazon themselves as a seller. So those two things alone would probably be enough for me to just walk away from this niche already, with the brand domination from Angel Care, but seeing that backed up by Amazon dominating as a seller. That for me would probably be a big enough turn off to just move on. But let's say they were okay. The next thing I would look at is price. I want to see somewhere a minimum of £10, preferably £15 upwards. Anything up to around £30. But again, you can go higher if you find the right opportunity. FBA fees. I usually don't worry too much about this at this stage. That would normally be flagged. I would look at this really more in detail if I saw a lot of what we called MFN sellers, which are basically fulfilled by the seller rather than FBA sellers. So, because then that is normally a good indication that the fees are going to be quite high. Always keep have a glance at the fees, and as long as I don't see anything crazy, don't worry too much at this stage. The next thing is sales. Now, some people like to look at these based on revenue. So it's either revenue here or based on sales. There is not a right or wrong answer to how you do this. I personally like to look at sales as the way I develop my own product research criteria. I do it based on sales numbers. But you could do exactly the same based on revenue instead. So it depends which one you prefer to use. So from a sales perspective, what I'm looking to see is at least 5 sellers selling at or around the sales figures I'm trying to achieve. So I've already developed my product criteria in advance. So for example, I might be looking for a product that I can sell 300 units of per month. That might be one part of my product research criteria. So I'd look at this and I'd go, actually, do you know what? There's a lot of sellers quite substantially above that. There's 1 seller there, 2 sellers, 3, 4, getting close. Maybe there's just enough evidence there to suggest that if I launched a product and was selling 200-300 units per month, I'd have a chance of getting onto the front page. But with a lot of these taken up by Amazon listings, I think that'd be quite difficult in this niche. Now, the next thing, and this is probably the main reason I prefer Xray from Helium 10 over Jungle Scout, and this is this integrated sales graph. So this is great for checking seasonality, to see whether products have been selling consistently well for a long time. And it's really, really good, especially with what happened last year with all the lockdowns, to see how products have sold throughout that period. So having a sales history and a price history built into this is a really, really useful feature. Now, I find the best way to get the most out of these graphs is to look for the products that have the most reviews. Now, in this niche, they've all got thousands of reviews. But generally speaking, if a product has thousands of reviews, it's probably been on Amazon for quite a few months, if not multiple years. Then that means there's going to be a lot of sales history available. So let's try this one here, this top one here with 13,000 reviews. Hit the graph, and then we're going to go to all time and see what it says. So this actually, it's only going back to June at the moment. So sometimes you will see this with certain products, it only tracks back a certain amount. But you can see there's pretty much no seasonal variation from June last year all the way through to February. And we can try that with some additional products. Just click on the graph, go to all time. That one itself, I don't think there's enough to show you seasonality there. I would assume this is probably stocking issues, the fact it's dropped off so quickly. So I would ignore that. We've just done those two. Let's go to the next one down. All time. What have we got here? So they're selling consistently, then it's spiked up, and then it's spiked up again. So these look less like seasonal variations and more just variations based on their organic listings, because there's not a gradual kind of increase and decline. It's very, very sharp when it does jump about. But these graphs are really, really good for confirming seasonality, looking for trends and seeing what demand has been like. So there we go. It's another good example of how showing this product sells pretty consistently all the way from April time last year all the way through to February where we are this year in 2021. So that, like I say, that is the main feature for me that gets me using Xray over Jungle Scout. I don't really pay much attention to the BSR review rating unless there's lots of 5-star averages, and we've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 15 of 5-star averages. I prefer to avoid niches where lots of people have got 5-star averages, because it can be difficult to maintain a 5-star average. It doesn't take many negative reviews to pull the average down to 4.5 stars. And if you're in a niche where everyone's got 5 stars, a 4.5-star product might not look that good. Yeah, if you're in a niche where everyone's got 4 or 4.5 stars, then 4.5 stars is absolutely fine. The review count itself, now a lot of people kind of call this the competition, and this is how they judge how competitive a niche is based on how many reviews they are. And that is a good indicator. A lot of reviews does suggest that the products are there. They've been on Amazon for a long time. They've got a really good sales history, and their ranks are going to be difficult to dislodge. But don't always see it as a blocker, because sometimes you will see a niche where products have lots of reviews, but you'll still see the odd product, for example, this one here, which has managed to jump onto the front page with only double-figure reviews. And that's what you're looking for. If you can see 4 or 5 products with maybe double-figure reviews, that shows it's possible to get ranked on that first page without needing hundreds or thousands of reviews. We then have the review velocity. Now, people do use this to interpret whether a product is new. Not something I pay a huge amount of attention to. Then we have dimensions. Now, I would look at dimensions and wait closely a bit further down the line. So I'd do an initial round of product research where I shortlist maybe 10 or 15 products. Then I'd come back to them either later in the day or a following day and go through them again. And that's when I'd maybe pay more attention to stuff like the dimensions and weight, because that is going to directly relate to the FBA fees you're paying and also your overall profitability. So that is kind of gives you a quick overview of how I would look through Xray or Jungle Scout to see what the stats are. If I was just doing it very quickly, the first thing I would look at would be the sales. I would be looking at the price point, and I would be looking at the seasonality as well. And then of course, like I said at the start, I'll be looking at whether it's dominated by Amazon listings and whether it's brand dominated as well. So hopefully that, guys, gives you a quick idea of how my mind works when I'm doing product research. So let's just take this product, for example. I'm going to exclude this based on the first two reasons that I said. So let's see what else we can find. Now, one of the other methods I really like is to take one of the FBA sellers. So we might have to actually go back to Xray here because we know a lot of those are actually Amazon listings. So if we find the top FBA listing, which is there. So let's go to this product, because we know these are an FBA seller. And then what we're going to do is go to their store. I love looking through their stores and seeing what other products they have, because generally speaking, if an FBA seller has one successful product, they probably have other successful products. So we'll go to the products tab here. And then what I'm going to do is run either of the analyst tools again and see what pops up. So we'll go with Helium 10 again in this instance. And let's see what we have. So you can see, depending on your goals, you might see a product here which fits quite well within these. So they've got a calming cat bed, which they're selling nearly at 1,000 units of per month. So all of a sudden we've gone from a baby bath to a cat bed. And this just shows how you can go down the rabbit hole of product research. Now, you wouldn't actually analyze this product based on this stats. You'd have to go and do the search separately. So if we go back to Amazon, make sure you're not searching the actual store that I just showed you, and go to, actually, let's try a calming cat bed. Let's see what comes up. So calming cat bed, and then we're going to run Helium 10 again. So it looks like they are actually the top seller within that niche. It makes it a bit bigger so you guys can see some more of the results. And let's just go through that same process again. So the biggest issue I had with that first product was it was brand dominated. That issue doesn't exist in this niche. There's no brand dominating. Titles, I'll quickly look through in a moment to make sure everyone is actually a cat bed. Sellers, there are pretty much, there's actually no AMZ listings there. They're all FBA, so I'd feel very good about that. Price point looks quite healthy, ranging anything from kind of 15 all the way up to £30, some of them even above £30. So it shows that the price point is very good. FBA fees look reasonable. Sales, this is much more what I would like to see if I was trying to sell 300 units of a product per month, because what we see here is a few products above that, which gives you an opportunity for kind of achieving above expectation. So if you can get a product listed based on your original goals, but there's room to grow further, that's always a good niche to consider. But what we then see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 sellers around that 200 or 300 figure, which is what I would have been aiming for with this product. So the demand looks good, it's evenly spread, and there's opportunity to go even higher than the original goals. Plus, just if you want a kind of even more of an incentive, you've got a couple of listings here with only, sorry, that PPC, but you've got a listing here with only 31 sales, which is scraping onto the first page. Now, if you can scrape onto the first page with low sales, when those organic sales come in to back up the PPC sales that you'd have been using to get this rank in the first place, hopefully the sales will go even higher, and then that will cause your organic ranks to go higher still. Then we've got the sales history. So let's just take that one. This is the one that brought us to this product in the first place, and look at all time. And we can see this is a much more gradual. So this is something I would keep an eye on. I'm not saying this is definitely a seasonal issue. It's just something, when you see a gradual decline like this. So this is from June, July time through to September, and then it kind of levels off. So I'm not saying that is an issue, but I'll keep that in mind as I look at the next few products. So let's bring up the next ones. Make sure they've got a decent number of reviews, which they have. Go through that and go to all time. This is very up and down, so probably not a huge amount of use because of how up and down that is. Let's take the next one. And go to all time again. So again, we're seeing that kind of drop off from June to September before it picked up. So that's the second product that showed that. Let's pick one of these, a bit further down, all time. Well, they're going out of stock, so that's not overly helpful. Let's look for another one that's got some really high review count. So this one has got really high reviews. They should have a sales history all time. So it doesn't look like this is only tracking from December. So yes, like I say, sometimes it doesn't pick up the full historical sales data. It's a case of clicking through, trying to find enough products that do to give you the data to actually make a decision whether seasonality is an issue or not for that individual product. Revenue, like I say, I don't judge things based on revenue. I do it based on sales, but if you decide to do it the revenue way, completely understand as well. Reviews, lots of 4.5 or 4 stars, so no issues there. And review counts, you know, quite a few people in 3 figures, but again, people with double figures making it onto that front page. So just on a very quick look through, I would probably pop this calming cat bed onto my shortlist to come back at a later date. So the final check would be just to scroll through and make sure these are indeed all cat beds. So you can see these are all calming cat beds. So maybe there's an opportunity there if you can come up with a visual selling point to enter this niche to help you stand out. But yeah, on a quick look through as a second product, that doesn't seem like a bad product on the face of things. Also, off the top of my head, I don't kind of think there's any reasons why this product might be restricted or prohibited in any way or would be in a gated category. It all seems like a very straightforward, simple product. So hopefully you guys find that useful. Now, how do the stats actually compare between the two? So what I'm going to do now is just bring up Helium 10 and Jungle Scout together on this niche, so that if depending on which piece of software you're using, you can get an idea of how they compare. Now, off the bat, I'm just going to say, I don't care which piece of software you use, both of them are capable of giving you accurate enough results to decide whether you want to track those products manually to verify them even further. So if we just take the long T one there that we have clicked through on, they estimated 991. Let's go and see what the estimate here is. So 1,061. So not a huge difference there. Let's just bring it up again and see if I can get these running next to each other. So the next one down is the Fba. That's a brand name. They're doing 1,000 units, and we are saying in Helium 10 623. So there is some discrepancy there. So that sort of product you would definitely have to manually verify. Like the first one, when you see there's a very small difference, then you can feel fairly confident that even if you don't manually track, it's probably going to be somewhere around that region. But if you do see a big discrepancy like that, definitely get involved with the manual tracking, because that is a 30 to 40% difference and you need to manually verify that before you entertain that at all. We then have the Maswana one at 3,167 versus 3,011, so again very close. And then finally, if we just do one more, so we've got the iToda one at 604 units, and if we go to iToda on here, we have 559. So, you know, fairly comparable across the board there, apart from that one product which was a little bit out. But I've been using these two tools side by side for over 2 years now, and usually 9 times out of 10 the figures are similar enough. Now, how do these figures actually compare to exact sales? What I'm going to do is take my 2 products, show you the exact sales, and then I'm going to show you how each one of these tools has estimated the sales as well, to give you an idea how accurate it is in comparison. So I don't actually know what's going to happen in this instance, but let's go for it. I might have to cut the video so I can edit out some bits. But here we go. If we just go to my Seller Central account, you can see here, these are my 2 products. One sold 377 in the last month, and the other one sold 296. So let me open up a brand new tab. And then I'm going to edit this video to the point where we're just seeing the Helium 10 and Jungle Scout stuff with everything grayed out. So here we are on the results page, and I've got both Jungle Scout and Xray open at the same time with both products open. So if we take the lowest selling product first, we've got Jungle Scout estimating 336 and Helium 10 estimating 295. So if we just go back, and we'll see my product was estimated 296. So Helium 10 is within 1 on that instance, and Jungle Scout is probably within 10%. So Helium 10 is definitely more accurate for that product. The next product, we've got Jungle Scout at 424, and we've got Helium 10 estimating 380, whereas the sales here are saying 377. So Helium 10's within 3, and Jungle Scout, which was saying 424, a little bit overestimating again. So the general pattern seems to be that Jungle Scout maybe overestimates a little bit more than Helium 10, generally across the board, but both are definitely usable, and if you can use them side by side, even better. So if you guys do want to try out Xray, by all means, you can download it for free from the Helium 10 website. It is completely free on their free plan, and I think you get 50 uses for free. if you decide it's something you want to use long term, if you head over to the FBA Elite forum, so go to fbaelite.com, sign up, go to the resource section, then go to exclusive discounts. There is some discount codes in there for Helium-10. I'll probably pop some up on the screen, and I'll put some in the top comment as well, so you can either get 50% off your first month with FBA Elite 50, or you can get 10% off every month with FBA Elite 10. But I hope you guys found that useful, just seeing how my mind works doing some live product research. If you guys want to launch a cat bed, let me know how you get on. I'm sure it's probably a viable opportunity based on the information I've seen so far. So if you did find this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could scroll down, hit that like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the forums.